Hey everyone, Srivach here, and today we are talking about what's my favorite lens to shoot with. So in my camera bag, whenever I go for a photo shoot, I always carry two lenses. The first one is the 18 to 55 mm wide angle lens, and the other one is a 75 to 300 mm zoom lens. Both of these lenses are amazing for both photography and videography, which is basically making videos, but at the same time they have both pros and cons. And in this video I'll talk both about the pros and cons and which one I prefer to shoot with in the end. So first up I'll talk about the 18 to 55 mm, and then after that I'll move on and talk about the 75 to 300 mm. So the 18 to 55 mm over here that's in my hand is a wide angle lens. That basically means it captures more of the surrounding or the place where you're in. So imagine yourself in a situation where there's a river flowing in the foreground that's closer to you and there are mountains in the background. That time you would want to use this type of lens because it captures a lot, like both the background and the foreground, and the image in the end looks really amazing. Now that was regarding the image quality and where you should be using this. And since this lens is very small, as you can see, which is basically it's very compact, it doesn't weigh as much as this massive one over here. And if you were to put it onto a DSLR body, which by itself is really heavy, it won't add too much weight and it's much easier to take everywhere and it's more compact. Now that was regarding the weight of this lens. Now if you're also into videography, that's basically making videos or YouTube contents like I am, then this is the go-to lens because it's small, compact, and it is closer to you when you hook it onto your DSLR, so you get both yourself as well as the things that are in the background. Now you might be thinking that I'm going on giving pros about this, but there are also some cons. So the first con that is there for this is if you're taking photos of people with this, you'll have to be close to them to get their face. In particular, if you're taking portraits, you'll have to be very close to them to get their face in focus properly. But at the same time, if you're doing that, you won't get a nice clear bokeh, which is basically the blurriness in the background. Now that does not hold true only for portraits. Even if you were to take a picture of a flower or plants or anything in particular, you'll have to be close to that particular subject to get it like into zoom. But if you like wide angles and you want everything in the background, if it looks pretty, then this is the go-to lens. Now let me move into this zoom lens that I prefer, and I'll tell you both the pros and cons of. Now this lens, the 75 to 300 mm, is one of my most favoritist lens. It's so amazing, you get such good image qualities with this, and that's why I love it. Now if you're in a safari, in a zoo, and you see some animal, then this is the lens you should have because it like zooms all the way. This is the max zoom of it, and the clarity even when you max zoom it is like really amazing. It doesn't get too pixelated, which is a plus point of it. But at the same time it's like massive, and when you hook it onto a heavy DSLR body like this one, it like makes it really heavy, and if you have it hooked onto your neck, that time it puts pressure on the back of your neck. Now also if you want to take portraits, then this lens is like really amazing because for portraits the ideal zoom is like 85 mm, and then with 85 mm you also get a nice background blur, which is basically the bokeh, and it looks really amazing when you're doing post-production for that photograph. Now if you want to use this for making videos, then that is the negative side of this. When you hook this onto your camera and you want to make like videos with this, you'll have to place it like at least 10 feet from where you are to like have you even in focus, and forget about the background because you'll have to place it even further to get the background. But if you're in the wild and you want to get some nice tree videos, then this one will be nice because you'll be low and the trees will be much higher, and you can get both the trees as well as the sky or whatever you're shooting outdoor. Now coming back regarding to how far you have to keep your lens to get the subject in focus, that holds true even for taking portraits. So when you're taking portraits also, you want to be at least like 5 to 6 feet at max to get your subject into focus. So those were the pros and cons of both these wonderful lenses. Now if I were to make a decision, then I probably would go with the 75 to 300 mm. It might sound weird because you won't get as much as the background as you would love to, but For me, it's more about the sharpness and the clarity of the subject that you're shooting and the blurred background for bokeh or even for any nature photograph that I've taken. So that's why I would choose this. And this lens is also amazing. And if you saw my Instagram posts, the last two posts that I've done were actually with this lens because I didn't want to miss out on some key moments, but mostly I would love shooting with this more. So that's it for me in this video. Hope you liked it. So if you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you aren't already, leave a comment if you so desire to, and I'll see you all I think after New Year's. Bye.